I often ask myself, are video games really boring or is it just me? It's a question I have revisited countless times and honestly I still can't find a clear answer for that. When I think back to my gaming days as a kid, I remember sitting on the floor with a PS2 controller in hand, playing God of War, eating snacks and sipping Coke. Those were the days when everything felt magical, like opening the doors to an entirely new world every time I started a game. But now, things feel different. Is it nostalgia clouding my judgments? Or have games genuinely lost their spark? Let's start with the nostalgia. Back then, every game felt groundbreaking, everything was exciting, every new character was memorable, every world was immersive, and every storyline was unique. But here's the thing, those memories are tinted by the fact that we were experiencing everything for the first time. When you were young, the simplest things can amaze you. It's like discovering a treasure chest in a game. You don't care what's inside, you're just excited that you found it. But as you grow older, you start noticing patterns. Things that once felt new begin to look familiar. It's like watching sequels to a movie. The first one blows your mind, but by the fourth or fifth film, you're just going through the motions. Take Far Cry as an example. Far Cry 3 was incredible. It had a gripping story, an insane villain, and an island filled with danger and adventure. But then came Far Cry 4, 5, and 6, and the formula barely changed. You end up on a new island, there's a new crazy dictator, and your mission is to overthrow them. Sure, the graphics get better, and there are slight improvements, but it's hard to recapture that original magic when the core formula hasn't evolved. Now, let's take a step back and think about how our lives influence this feeling. As adults, we have already seen and experienced a lot. The sense of wonder we had as kids gets harder to find, not just in game, but in life in general. When we are younger, you have fewer responsibilities. You can lose yourself in a game for hours, even days, without a care in the world. But as you grow older, things change. Work, bills, relationships, and other responsibilities take up time and energy. This doesn't mean games are less enjoyable. It just means our relationship with them changes. Maybe it's not about chasing that same excitement we had as kids, but learning to enjoy games in a way that fits our current lives. Think of it like leveling up in a game. At each stage, the challenges and rewards are different. As kids, we played for fun and discovery. As adults, we might play for relaxation, nostalgia, or even connection with friends. But let's address the elephant in the room. Are games genuinely getting worse? Some people argue that modern games lack originality, and I get it. The industry has its share of cash grabs, endless sequels, and microtransactions nightmares. But when you look closely, there are still games out there that prove the magic isn't gone. Take The Last of Us Part 2. Whether you loved it or hated it, you can't deny the emotional depth it brought to the table. Or Elden Ring, which gave us a massive open world to explore, filled with impossible bosses and countless secrets. Or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which managed to build on an already incredible game and make it even better. These games show that innovation and creativity are still alive. They might not hit everyone the same way, but they prove that the magic hasn't disappeared. It's just harder to find. Here's another thought. Maybe it's not just about the games. Maybe it's about us, the players. Think about it. Kids today are experiencing games in the same way we did when we were young. They are building their own memories, exploring new world, and feeling that same spark of excitement we once felt. And maybe, years from now, those same kids will grow up, look back at their favorite games, and ask themselves the same questions we are asking now. Were games better back then, or is it just me? It's a cycle. Every generation has its golden age of gaming. For us, It might have been the PS2 or Xbox 360 era. For today's kids, it might be the PS5 or Nintendo Switch. The magic isn't gone, it just moved on to a new audience. So, what do you think? Do you feel the same way? Are video games really getting boring, or is it just part of growing up? For me, the last game that truly brought back that feeling was Elden Ring. Exploring its massive world, fighting impossible bosses, and uncovering its secrets reminded me why I fell in love with gaming in the first place. But what about you? What was the last game that made you feel that spark of excitement? Let me know in the comments.